What do we got? Stream 19? Generation 0? So like it says I'm live for how many seconds? About 13 seconds before the stream actually pops up. Because I can't test it beforehand. If I could test it beforehand, it allowed it to buffer before you actually started the stream, so as soon as you started the stream, it was up and available for viewing. And there wasn't like a weird delay in the beginning. Okay, so I have two options here. I could go to the bunker first, or I can go to the city. More than likely, one of the quests is going to take us to the city anyway. So it might be better to go to the bunker first, then head to the city. Just to get that knocked out of the way so I don't have to backtrack. So I think that's what I'll do once I'm done cleaning my glasses. And getting comfortable. So yeah, let's do that. We'll head up here. I guess it was right here. This is the entry point to the bunker. Am I over encumbered? Just barely. Alright. Let's drop off some stuff then. What don't I need? I don't need that. Ooh. Pulse rounds. That's new. I'm just gonna crouch walk everywhere because I'm trying to sip on hot chocolate. I don't want to accidentally trigger some robots while I'm enjoying myself. Yep, this is one good-looking game. Alright. Let's boogie. So it did snow here today, which I was really excited about, but it was an extremely disappointing snow. And it got warm really fast, so while it was snowing, it turned into rain, and all the snow that was on the ground just got all sloshy and gross. So instead of snow, we just had really cold mud, which was not nearly as much fun. Like I was walking my dog, and it goes from snowing to rain, and it starts knocking all the snow off the trees and stuff. And so I just have these like really, really heavy water droplets just knocking me in the head. What is that from? Blow your head clean off. That sounds familiar. Alright, I see the one guy over here. Let me pop him when he... Oh, didn't hit what I wanted to. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Well, good. Nope. Oh. He like just slightly shimmied to the side so I didn't hit his tank. Not sure what happened there, but I'll take it. Honestly, if it freezes overnight, I might get out of class tomorrow. That'd be great. Not that I don't necessarily look forward to missing class, but I have 2 classes back to back and one's online. And I don't want to sit at school for my online class, so I have to go to my one in-class class, then zip home and try and make it to my online class in time. Super inconvenient. That's why I'm against the whole hybrid course thing. Because it's stupid. Oh, okay, Dirty... Yeah, I haven't watched Dirty Harry movie in... probably since high school. If I'm being honest. There's a lot of old movies I gotta rewatch anyway, because the Mrs. hasn't seen them, so I'll revisit a lot of those movies I haven't watched in a long time at some point. And he's gotta wait 2 hours. He's not hungry, he just thinks he's hungry. He might be upset because the Mrs. put a ribbon around his neck. He doesn't normally wear a collar because we don't let him outside. Oh, son of a gun. But I let him in the office a little while ago. I think he just wants in the office. There's some plastic in here. He wants to chew on it. I did let him in here before I started the stream. He just beelined for the plastic and started going to town on it, so I had to kick him out. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a really short drive. I actually live very, very close to the school, so... if anything, it gives me a reason to drive my car and warm it up a bit. So I do like driving. You don't say. 0 inches of snow in Tampa. How many of these guys are just chilling right here? Go away, robots. Oh, I hear another guy. Where's he at? I guess I am outside of a bunker. I think there's always more enemies chilling outside the bunkers. So this actually isn't unexpected. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard quite a bit about that. I did hear that they were going to make sure that the halftime show was PG this year. I thought that was pretty neat. $10K a piece. I assume because they have a limited seating, right? So they can scalp the tickets for a much higher price. That's absurd. Who wants to go to the Super Bowl that badly? Vigo, long time no see, man. How's the pandemic treating you? And did you get snow? Because I got snow. Well, kind of. I got more snow earlier this week, but I got something today. Mostly wet. I just can't imagine ever spending that much money on something that's not permanent. Like something that's not going to last me a long time. Like it's a one-day event. I mean, I guess if you have the money, go for it. But I like permanence in the things that I buy. Like honestly, I don't even like buying food. I hate grocery shopping. And like, Mrs. Bringadano asked me like, "Hey, what do you want from the store?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I don't want anything," because I'm like, I don't want to spend money on food. It's a temporary thing, and I always feel bad about spending money on food. Obviously, I need to. When I go to the store myself, I buy plenty of stuff, but I like knowing something's gonna last. 10 grand for a ticket. You could argue that memories will last forever, but if you get amnesia, that's not true. Yeah, same here. I'd pay off my car first, or student loans. Well, congrats. I've done that before, Sith. It's all good. I'm absolutely digging the, what is it actually called? It's not called the is it called the Magnus? Yeah. The 44 Magnus. Hey, pineapples. Yeah, when I was in the military, because I went around a lot, I tried a lot of new places to eat and stuff, so I think there's a couple times I didn't recognize a purchase that I made, so I canceled the card. Plus, I don't know what it is about being in the military. Your account gets hacked a lot. I remember when I was deployed the first time, there was a big leak of people's bank accounts. One of my buddies lost like 12 grand. He got it back because the military-oriented banks are really good about stuff like that. But still, like looking at your account and 12 grand is just missing. Well, hey, you can always put that towards your membership. I'm teasing, of course. I don't know. I don't actually pitch myself like that. Except for to my channel updates. This is my time to plug myself. It was really bad in the military. Also, when I was in California, I assumed they're just more like those, I forgot what they're called, like those false scanners. Probably around, because it's a bigger city. Yeah, that's right. He has more subscribers and followers, but he doesn't have the quality that I bring to the table. People keep asking me about Wrath of the Righteous, but I'm not gonna play. I don't have the time to play an incomplete game. I'm gonna end up playing that game twice, probably anyway. There's no reason to play through it when it's incomplete, because I don't have the time. So. But eating on screen. Yeah, because he streams. All of his, like, YouTube stuff is streams, I think. So he streams for, like, hours and hours at a time. Ugh. Just, like, pause the stream. Like, Sorcerer Dave, his streams, he has intermissions, you know? Create an intermission, go eat, come back. Don't eat on camera. That's gross. Unless people are watching your content for that. Like that one, channel where the girl eats the food on camera, which I'm pretty sure is just a fetish channel. Oh gosh. Yeah, pineapples, I thought about that after I said it, but you know what? I'm gonna stand by it. Well, I don't see craft beer coming back to the channel. Unless they add more content to it. I know they have like those like multiplayer maps and stuff, but that doesn't sound like my cup of tea. 0 level only. You know, I knew you were gonna say that. I mean, after so many times, I'm sure I'll get, you know, good at it. Practice makes perfect. Oh. Alright, where do I need to go? I'm feeling pretty confident in my shooting. Well, thanks, man. I just said I was feeling pretty good about my shooting. Dropping ticks left and right. Alright, so we need to go to the south for the 2 unpowered doors. Yeah, that's what I read about. It was some of them added to the story, some of them were just standalones. Oh yeah, I had the I had the Warhammer 3 trailer on repeat for like an hour straight. I'm pretty sure that was Scarbrand in the trailer. I don't know what other Bloodthirsty they'd have, because Kabanda, or whatever, I think it's Kabanda, is only 40k, I think. See, and then I'm split, so, because I will be playing Warhammer 3 on the channel when they introduce like the Mortal Empires campaign, so that I can go against all the races and do like one big campaign. I don't know which race I'm going to do, so I might put a poll up on the channel. Yeah, I'm split between Orcs, Kislev, sorry. Orcs, Dwarves, Kislev, or Khorne. I don't know which one I'm gonna choose yet. Because I was waiting for that Orcs rework for so long, and then I haven't played the game since it came out. So I don't know, I really want to play them, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind waiting for all the DLC to come out as well, so then I can really choose and just do like one massive campaign, because it's gonna be a long series. Yeah, the Bear Cav, whew. The Hussars, I forgot what they're actually called in fantasy. But the Kislevite Hussars are... I can't remember what they're called. So I think they're the same unit, right? Because there's those Kislev elite soldiers, they put their knives in their skin. Like they have like a little skin pocket that they cut into their bicep, where they keep a knife sheath. And I don't know a lot about Kislev other than the Ice Queen. I don't know who another legendary lord might be. But yeah, I'm absolutely stoked. But I am curious who they're going to put, how they're going to do Slaaneish's army. I'm also wondering, I'm assuming they're going to release a Beastman update before Warhammer 3, right? Because I think they're the last race that really needs it. That's the spirit. Yeah, invest in probably the 2 best games that come out in 2021. I'm already going to call it. Those are going to be the 2 best games. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 might come out, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as Wrath of the Righteous or Warhammer 3. Yeah, that's what I figured. One more DLC for Warhammer 2, and then they'll release Warhammer 3. And they'll probably treat Warhammer 3 like they did with 2, and they won't release like the Mortal Empires campaign until the game's been out for a while, and they'll incorporate it after release. And they do have that one, if you pre-order Warhammer 3, you get that bonus race. Don't know which one it's going to be yet, but they, you don't actually have to pre-order it, you can actually order it the first week of release and still get that race. So it's not just a pre-order exclusive thing. Oh gosh. That's not what I expected around the corner. I prefer fantasy. For a few reasons. One, I'm a big Warhammer guy, so that already gives it free points. But also, there's just more diversity. Like, each faction is more unique in Warhammer. Where there's only so much you can do with, like, regular, like, human factions in, like, historical Total Wars. Like in Fantasy Total War, each faction plays uniquely. Like it's, and then you have like all the magic systems, you know, heroes. It's just it's a more unique experience. Yeah, I mean I love all the Total War games. Don't misunderstand me. I think they're all great. And I really want to play Troy as well, but they did that whole Epic Game exclusive crap, so. Because I know a lot of people didn't like it because it's a smaller scale Total War, but I think it looks great. I really want to play it. Plus, I'm a huge fan of mythology, so it's right up my alley. Same with like Three Kingdoms. I love the Three Kingdoms. I love Dynasty Warriors, you know, Kessin. The whole Romance of the Three Kingdoms stuff. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to add Chaos Dwarves. It might not be the first bonus race, but we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure Chaos Dwarves and Ogre Kingdoms are coming. Because I think at some point CA did say they were going to add every faction that had a book, a rule book. They added Cathay, and Cathay didn't have a rule book, as far as I understand. But Chaos Dwarves and Ogre Kingdoms did. Yeah, a Lord of the Rings one would be fantastic. I know there's mods for it, but I think just having an official Lord of the Rings Total War, because the last Lord of the Rings RTS we had was a Battle for Middle-earth. And that was a long time ago, so... Elex, I have not. When that came out, I was... I think doing Let's Plays. I didn't get a chance to play it. But it's on my to-do list for the channel, so I will be playing it for the channel at some point in the future. Along with a lot of other games I haven't had the chance to play yet. But yeah, I think if CA took on Lord of the Rings, I mean, I would kill to have a Balrog in a Total War game. And they have all the material there too. I mean, obviously you have all like the the lore of Middle Earth, but you also have all the mods that introduce all the units that they could incorporate. Though I'm curious how they would do the Eagles. Like, who would the Eagles be aligned with? In a Lord of the Rings Total War game. Because they're mostly independent. Like, they're their own faction. So I don't know if, maybe they probably just belong to, like, all the good races. They shouldn't come out at the same time. Wrath is supposed to come out June of this year, so in just a few months, and they said Total War Warhammer 3 comes out late 2021, so probably the holiday season. So you should have a few months to play Wrath, unless they bump back the release date. Trust me, I got it all scheduled in my head. I have to schedule it for my channel. But then there's all those games that don't have an official release date yet, so I can't schedule them. Which I don't like. I like having a firm schedule. I have a list of games in front of me right now for the next couple of months. And 3 of them don't have official release dates. And I'm trying to schedule around those unknowns, and you can't do that, because you don't know what they are. By certain wizards, you just mean Gandalf? Because he rescued, I don't remember the name, the King of the Eagles had an arrow stuck through his wing. And that's why they usually help out Gandalf, because they owe him a debt for helping him out. Because there's not that many wizards in Lord of the Rings. There's just the few. There's not really that many factions either. You have the Haradrim, you have the Orcs, of course, Mordor. I guess goblins and trolls could be their own thing. Dwarves, humans. I guess you'd have a couple of different human factions. Obviously Rohan, Gondor. The Haradrim are also human, so... the Rangers could be their own faction, too. Obviously, they'd have to take some creative liberties with some of the units and introduce more unique stuff, because there's just, I don't think there's enough to actually fill out a roster. But imagine if they had Caligon the Black, and have all the Balrogs riding on his back and dropping into the battlefield. Oh, that'd be so cool. Like, they went the Silmarillion route with the, like a Total War Lord of the Rings. Whew. Because the scale in the Silmarillion, I think, is just far larger than anything we see in the, like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Ungoliant? Oh man, imagine if they did like the first age and had Ungoliant and Morgoth, Glorfindel. Whew. So that could be how they handled the trilogy. They could do each age and have like the big major conflict of each age. They wouldn't be able to combine the games like they do with Warhammer Total War because they don't really connect like that. I mean, they could if they wanted to because it's, you know, it's a video game. It's all fantasy, but lore-wise, they couldn't. Hey, that's what I said. Yeah, all 3 ages. Because the first and second age, I mean, that's exciting stuff. I mean, Lord of the Rings is great and all, but it's no first age or second age. Like Smaug wasn't even that large of a dragon. Like if you look at Caligon the Black, answer combat. Then you had all the wingless dragons too, because they existed before the winged dragons. The winged dragons were a creation of Morgoth. Right? Man, yeah, I've never actually played Battle for Middle-earth. I've watched a lot of gameplay of it. I never had the chance to. And my neighbor, I'm not going to call him my friend, my neighbor when I was younger had it. For some reason he thought he let me borrow it and accused me of stealing it because I never returned it to him. Like, I never had that game, man. Like, I've never borrowed that game from you. Like, I've never played it. Like, don't accuse me of stealing it. I've never played the game. I wanted to borrow it and play it, but I never did. Vigo, I see you, man. They're the same person, for those of you who don't know. It was Melkor first, and he becomes Morgoth later. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to play it too. I wish it was available on digital retail. Maybe one day. I mean, if we got Freedom Fighters on storefronts today, then maybe we can get Battle for Middle-earth. There is that that Amazon show coming out, which I'm not really looking forward to. I don't think they're going to handle it well. Because Amazon doesn't really seem to be competent at I guess the media, because they just throw money at it, right? Like, they're trying to make video games, they're trying to make movies and shows, and just none of them really pan out very well. Less goth. Yeah, I haven't heard good things about it either, but I mean, that's Amazon for you, right? It's just like Google. Like, they just throw money at stuff and then hope it sticks, and it doesn't, because it's money, you know, unless you put it in water, but then it's useless. Like, Google canceled Stadia. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Well, EA, they're the ones that released freedom fighters. So it was through Origin. So they might. I mean, they have been going back and doing some of the older games, and they've been adding them to Steam and other online retailers. I'm really stoked for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Really excited about that. That might even be something that I play in my own time. I might not even do a Let's Play of it. I might just play it for myself. $200. I mean, it might be worth it. No. The most I ever spent on a game was Morrowind. I'm not paying that much for a game ever again. That was like $120. I take that back. I did spend $120 on EA's Battlefront, and that was... It equates Morrowind. I only played it for like 5 hours. I couldn't stand that game. Largest waste of my money I've ever... Yeah, that's the biggest waste of money I've ever spent. Because I bought the base game of the first Battlefront and the expansion pass, which is another $60. So it's like, you know, it's Battlefront. There's no way they messed this up, right? And they did. They messed it up bad. It was awful. Fix what? Oh. Yeah, they just added like that DLC ending that they added post game. Or post-release, I guess, after all the complaints. Still don't know how it ended. I think I'm familiar with one of the endings. But, I never played Mass Effect 3, so... I did play 1 and 2. I played 1... what, 4 or 5 times through? Because I think I beat it twice, then I went after the achievements where you beat the game or play the game with certain companions for a majority of the game. It was a huge time investment. The Mass Effect 2 I beat 1.5 times? I may have been lost. I was paying attention to the chat. I wasn't really I wasn't walking around, or I wasn't paying attention to the game. I haven't seen Solo. I think it's the only Star Wars movie I haven't seen yet.
Hermelinen, det här är Olof Tore 2. Vi har fortfarande en trasig bil vid Östertörnsbron och helt stillastående kö. Vi uppmanar folk att återvända till sina evakueringsplatser. Kom. Hermelinen, vi har inkommande eld, riktning syd, bekräfta visuellt, nu det. Herregud, vad i Blomberg, position höger, ladda pansarskott, eld! Hermelinen, vi tar ställning i skogen nära brons sydända. Vi har inkommande eld, vi har slut...
Uppfattat skvaden. Fientlig eldgivning vid östra porten. Besvarar. Observera, vår beredskap är undermålig. Huvuddelen av bataljonen har...
Our readiness is inadequate. Who talks like that?
Okänd angripare. Det ser ut som någon form av obemannade stridsmaskiner. De har nått radiomasten. Vi kan inte hålla dem tillbaka.
Also, the Mass Effect games, I liked most of 2 more than 1, but I think 1 takes the cake for me because I hate the planet scanning in 2. Mass Effect 1, short, sweet. I'd have to sit there for like 10 minutes per planet and try and scan it to get all the optimal resources. That was that was so annoying. And Rex is a companion. Rex isn't a companion in Mass Effect 2. Which also gives 1 an edge in the competition. Oh, do they? Okay. Well, that was an unexpected yawn. I don't know if I've ever heard anything about Shazam. Like, at all. Like, I don't remember it even coming out. Yeah, I tend to default to Garrus and Tali because I like having canon companions that go with you through each game. That's how I handled my Baldur's Gate franchise as well when I played through that. I like having that continuity. But since Rex isn't in 2 as a companion, you have to bring Tali instead, which I don't mind Tali as a companion. Like, she's a solid, one of the better party members in the game. In my opinion. Better than Liara. And, shoot. Mass Effect 2. The brunette. I don't remember her name. But yeah, if I could take Rex with me. Rex and Garrus. I feel like that's, like, the two most popular characters, and for good reason. Oh, we're in like a... Alright, fine. Oh, jeez. You know what? I don't need this. I don't need this. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Liara either. I don't really have an opinion on her. She's not really a companion I ever used, so I don't really have a stance. Because I remember I recruited her. The only time I used her was when I was trying to get the achievement for using her through most of the game, and that was it. I didn't mind Jacob, honestly. Jacob, I think, was a decent addition from what I remember. I don't remember it that well, but Jacob is from Mass Effect 2. He's the soldier guy that helps you out in the beginning. Yeah. I mean, generic is better than bad, right? I mean, he could be like Sarah from Dragon Age Inquisition. I have an affinity for cliche characters. Like, I like Valerie from Pathfinder Kingmaker. I like, Khalid from Baldur's Gate. I don't mind the, non-standout characters. Because if you have enough companions, some of them are going to be generic. Yeah, I did run away. That was turning into quite the hassle, and I just want to crouch walk and explore. I didn't care for I mean, she was okay. She's better than Liara. The psyker girl. Crap. What's her name? Jack. I think Jack had one of the better companion missions in Mass Effect 2. But I didn't really use her. Didn't really care for Miranda. She's one I didn't really use. Mass Effect 2 I don't think had as good companions as Mass Effect 1. Except for maybe Liara. But again, I didn't really use Liara, so I don't have a huge opinion. Or really any opinion of her. I didn't like Miranda's quest line. With the whole twin thing. Yeah, generic soldier companion. The bee's knees, man. I like my generic companions. Zaid was the DLC companion. I never played him or with him. I didn't have the DLC. So that's another one I don't have an opinion of. Legion was a solid companion. And what's his face? The cactus guy. Can't remember his name now. Yeah, Thane. Yeah, Thane. I did like Thane. Yeah, Legion and Thane are really good. Tali Garrus. I like Jacob. Oh yeah, I forgot about Grunt. Yeah, I don't know. I had a hard time wanting to use Grunt because you can't replace Rex. I was like, there. Yeah, I mean he was a fun character, but the whole time I just wanted Rex in my party. I do like Grunt's story, and I like your first interaction you have with Grunt when he comes out of his pod or capsule, whatever it's called. Was that in Mass Effect 2 or is that in 3? I guess I never played 3, so maybe he has more character growth that I'm not familiar with. Oh yeah, who is that Asari in Mass Effect 2? The what's her title? Like not Paladin or Samara. I didn't really care for her either. Another companion that really stuck with me. Which I think it's good. I think it's good that there are some companions that some people just don't, connect with. I think that's a good sign in a game because one person's not going to connect with all these companions, It shows that there is diversity in the cast in your cast of crew members. So, even if I don't like them, I still like them. Yeah, I remember the quests. And you had to choose between the two, then whichever one you chose becomes your companion. Or part of your squad. I forgot how many companions are in Mass Effect 2. Jeez, man. It's been so long since I played it. That's what I was trying to remember. I don't remember what her, rank was. Is that including Zaid with the DLC? So I think there was 9 default. Then Zaid was 10, right? Actually, it's possible he was the 9th, because you can have 2 companions with you, so it makes sense that... he would be like the oddball. Stop wiggling around, you. Okay, come here, you. Hold still, hold still. Just a car, yeah, that's it. It was some sort of like zealot sounding Templar something or another. Oh, 10 plus 2 DLC companions? That's right. Was Liara the Shadow Broker in 2 or 3? I never played the DLC, but I am familiar with the I know the gist of it. I have no idea who Kasumi is, so I'll take your word for it. I only ever heard of Kasumi. Was that a Mass Effect 2 DLC, or was that a Mass Effect 3 DLC? Oh, DLC in 2, okay. Nope, never heard of her. Yeah, Mordin was pretty good. And I am familiar with his quest in Mass Effect 3 too, so... let's give him some more impact. More pizzazz as a character. Yeah, I think between the two of them, I probably trust her daughter more anyway, because Samara is too much of a zealot to want me to keep around on my team. I mean, yeah, you don't really trust any one of them. I would trust her daughter more than I would her. Which is funny because normally I pick the paladin. So would you trust a paladin or a succubus? But she's not like a good paladin. She's like one of those crazy paladins. I mean, I did miss me some Mass Effect. I haven't played any science fiction in a while, I don't think. But I'm playing a good sci-fi game. I can't wait for Encased to come out. I keep forgetting about Encased because it's been in early access for so long. I don't know when its projected release date is. Yeah, and that's I hate paladins that play like that. Like whenever I play a paladin, my paladin always like has a moral gray area because it's important for character development. I think. I like them having like this like middle ground where they will operate in because they've been doing it for a while. They understand that not everything is black and white. Like people always ask, like in my Let's Plays, my paladin's looting people's homes and stuff. It's like, how can you do that as a paladin? It's like, because I'm doing it for the greater good, you know? I'm getting the job done. Yeah, but they're young and new, absolutely. Because obviously they're indoctrinated. You know, they see things in black and white, good and bad. But it also depends on the adventure. So like in Pathfinder Kingmaker, my paladin was supposed to be like an older, you know, more world-weary paladin. Because, you know, where your adventure starts, you're already like a mercenary, you have a story behind you, so may as well make him older and wiser so you can make the choices you want to make along the way. So for like Wrath of the Righteous, I'm disappointed I'm not going to play a paladin for my first playthrough because a paladin is perfect for that campaign. But I do know that you do get a paladin companion, and I am excited to not play a paladin for my first playthrough so that I can just pick whatever dialogue choices I want. I won't be restricted to an alignment. It really opens up the game, not having to abide by an alignment your first playthrough. That's no good. Let's see. Let's connect to it here. Exterminatus is the gray area. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about the 40k setting. There aren't any good guys. I mean, there are good people, but even they usually have some sort of like moral like gray morality. By the way, Chaos Bane is on sale. It's 60% off right now. So those of you who have played it, is it worth $12? So I know it's not very well received, but I mean 12 bucks. Oh, that guy came jumping over the bushes, man. I think that's one of the saddest parts of the Night Lords, like, at least Sevatar. Sevatar wanted to be a hero. But he's never really given the chance, you know, because of his Legion. $12? Okay. Yeah, I figured, I mean, I was probably going to get it anyway. I mean, 60% off for a Warhammer Fantasy game. Or I can play as a Slayer. can't really go wrong with that. Even if it's not that great, it's gotta have some merit to it. Stop having armor, you little jerks. There we go. I did level up, didn't I? I think I have one more stealth skill to get. Yep, 20% or 40% less noise. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of games, honestly, not just action RPGs, just a ton of games in general, are super repetitive. Off the top of my head, I can't even think of a game that doesn't have a repetitive gameplay loop of some kind. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be anything stellar. So, $12 is probably gonna be worth it. As long as I get my money's worth out of it. Probably 12 hours of gameplay. I can't believe I missed that. Come on, there we go. Whoa! As I said, I haven't played Warhammer Quest 2 yet. Where did his body go? Oh. I also don't think Warhammer Quest 2 looks as good as 1. And Warhammer Quest 1 is not the best looking game, so that's saying something. I thought there was a, when he was trapped on the Dark Angel ship, he was very, at least heroic there, because he went and got retaliation for, what's-her-face, that, Astropath. Man, I'm not saying, I think he was sane, and he wasn't necessarily good, but he did have heroic traits. And I think, deep down, he wanted to be a hero, but he was surrounded by, you know, murderers and Night Lords. Obviously, it's up to interpretation. It's not like there's a direct line that says, oh hey, he wanted to be a hero, but I mean, you're the Night Lord's expert, I'd probably defer to your expertise anyway. I'm just a simple Space Wolves guy. Oh, so many of them. Alright, let's back up a little bit. Let's see where all these guys came from. Alright, timeout. And so where did all these guys come from? I thought I was in the clear, and then, getting swarmed by tens of robots. Well, maybe not lawful, but That's what Kurz like to imagine himself as, was a lawful evil. He probably thought of himself as lawful good. But he's definitely he's definitely chaotic evil. Now, there are a few characters that I would like having their stories expanded, but at the same time I don't. I like the mystery of what happened to Sevatar. Things like that, but the mystique is part of the appeal, right? Because I want answers because I don't know them, but then as soon as I know them, it's like that's lame. I don't want to know this. You can as a paladin, because if you're not lawful good, you get your powers taken away. So you can definitely quantify morality. Just ask my paladin in my Temple of Elemental Evil playthrough when I got my powers taken because I had a drinking contest in a tavern. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Sevatar return because he's such a iconic character, but I don't know that his character would be handled well. I mean, if they just add him to the tabletop, for the sake of, selling the model, sure, but I think adding him to, like, a story, I don't know where he would fit in. So I don't think he would fit in with the Night Lords that are still around. I don't see him really going back to the old Night Lords warbands. Unless he was going to unite them. Yeah, Tzeentch and the Alpha Legion probably have a lot in common. Though Tzeentch does have some cool lore to him. Supposedly he is trying to find out what's in, like, that pit in the warp. He threw that one Lord of Change in there. And he came back all messed up. And then Nurgle got beat up by Gork and Mork and thrown in a hole. It's probably my favorite piece of 40k lore. When Nurgle got beat up by a couple of orc gods and thrown in a hole. Oh, that's funny. There are no better chaos deities than Gork and Mork. Yeah, I don't know how canon that is. I know I've read it somewhere where Nurgle was supposedly beaten up by Gork and Mork. And I think... So Gork and Mork are constantly fighting demons in the warp. And I think it's because the 4 Chaos Gods are constantly sending demons towards them, so they don't interrupt their scheming and their great game. Because Gork and Mork... they're no joke. And Korra, Nurgle, Tzeentch, and Slaanesh probably don't want to deal with them. Especially not Nurgle. Yeah, there's supposedly something that exists in that pit that's even, like, Tzeentch is afraid of. He doesn't know what it is, though, but he's not going to throw himself in there to find out either. You guys would just stop attacking me. I'm just trying to explore and loot. Every time I turn around, there's more of these jerks shooting at me. Refresh that. There we go. Oh, speaking of mediocre video games, did y'all know that Clive Barker had 2 games released? I knew he did Jericho, but there's another game called Undying that he had worked on as well. I don't know a lot about it. There's not a lot known about the whole, just that Tzeentch found it, and he wanted to know what was in it, so he threw one of his Lords of Change in there. And then the Lord of Change came back with, like, 2 heads or whatever, and it was all messed up. He could, like, see into the future or something. He came back more powerful than he went in as. But he's also, like, mutated. I never played Jericho. I knew there was a Clive Barker game. It's been on my radar for a while. And then, yeah, Undying was another one. It's older. Because I had never heard of Undying until just recently. Actually looks like a really solid game as well. I thought it looked like some good fun. I think I played The Suffering. Is that the one where you start off in a prison? Yeah, The Suffering had a sequel. I'm familiar with the titles, I just didn't know, I don't remember which one it is. But I think The Suffering, you start off in a prison, right? Everything, like, goes to crap real fast. I think I get The Suffering and Manhunt mixed up. So I remember Manhunt was a really big deal when it came out. My mom didn't let me have an M-rated games, so I had to sneak Manhunt in a different case to play it. I think I had it in like a Jack and Daxter case or something like that. Yeah, okay, Ties That Bind. That's right. Yeah, I never played the sequel. I did play the first one a little bit. Oh, they're both on GOG? Oh. Those might be good Halloween games. There's actually a good Halloween game coming out on the 19th of this month that I plan on playing. Well, this month, not for Halloween, but I could save it for Halloween. But may as well play it while it's new while I have the time. Well, I don't want to spoil things, do I? No, it's The Shore. It's a Cthulhu Mythos based game. And from what I understand, it's a solo developer as well. yeah, Diablo 1, that's it. Yeah, it's an indie game, very small. I'm pretty sure it's just one developer that worked on it, but I think it looks pretty good. It's not gonna win any like Game of the Year awards or anything, but it's it caught my attention, piqued my interest, which really isn't hard to do when it comes to video games in the first place, or with like Cthulhu Mythos stuff. It intrigues me. Yeah, it comes out on the 19th of this month, so I'm gonna finish up Dejorin, play one more game that's pretty short, and then jump into The Shore when it comes out on the 19th. And then I actually start a new game in a couple days because I finish Adam tomorrow. Or I should finish it tomorrow. So another CRPG is coming out. Well, not coming out, like being released. A new CRPG is coming to the channel. There we go. That's a good way of saying it. And then Disco Elysium is getting the final cut released in March. I'm going to play that when it comes out. And Biomutant's supposed to come out in March. Or sorry, not March, May. I've been waiting for that game to come out for a long time. Hopefully it's good. Don't have super high hopes because of how long it's taken to be released, but we'll see. Alright, hold on. I'll do a quick Google search for you, Sith. I'll look up the Well of Eternity. That's what it's called. Alright, 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry, my dog was getting in trouble. Had to go lay down the law. No, it wasn't the cat this time, it was the dog. She was getting into a pan that I had on the stove because I do dishes after I stream. And I could hear it, but Mrs. Bring It On could not. So, I have a headset on. I made a rice dish tonight, and I had to let it soak a bit, and she was in there eating out of it. Well, I guess drinking out of it. There wasn't a lot of food in there besides some stuff stuck on the bottom. But still, she's not allowed on the counters. Yeah, a lot of games coming out the next couple of months, so there might actually be some overlap, and you guys might get 3 Let's Plays at a time for brief periods of time. So enjoy the extra content if it happens. Because I'm going to start a new CRPG, which will probably carry over to Disco Elysium. And then I have no idea when Adam's expansion comes out. So I'll play that when it comes out too. So that's potentially three CRPGs at one time. That's a lot of reading. Well, Disco Elysium's new edition's gonna be voice acted, so not that much reading. Oh, it's above me. Okay. Okay. Spoken like a true intellectual. Couldn't be bothered reading that much. Yeah, I'm really excited for the voice acting too. I don't mind reading, but I don't mind voice acted games either. I'll take a break where I can. I mean, I did read through Planescape Torment and Underrail, so I can... I know I can handle it. But since I don't do voice acting myself, I think voice acting does help relay dialogue and stories better anyway. Since I don't voice act characters. And so I think it's a better experience for the viewers as well. So I'm pretty impartial either way. I guess. Okay. Yeah, you need something to break up the monotony. I get that. That's why I don't just play CRPGs on the channel, because I don't want to get burned out of CRPGs. Which I don't know if I could or not. I haven't tested it. That's why I always have something besides a CRPG going alongside a CRPG, so I have, you know, some variety. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. There's not a lot of information on it because no one can go in it. The one guy that went in it, I don't think. I don't remember why he can't talk about it or why he doesn't talk about it. But yeah, Zin's just like the master of knowledge. If he doesn't know what's going on in there, then what hope do us mortals have to comprehend? So it says there's 3 weapons and 3 missions here. I haven't found any of them. The Navy's going to provide assistance from the sea. Yeah, you don't say. Or not. I mean, it might clear you right up. Is it because his plans are so convoluted that you'd probably live longer than if you followed one of the other Chaos Gods? I feel like Nurgle would be a solid one. Because everyone seems happy. I mean, I know that it's all a guise, like they're, you know, they're being tricked, but I mean, they seem happy though. Like Zinch, I feel like you have to be pretty paranoid all the time. Yeah, right? I mean, Sludge seems pretty happy. I've never seen an ooze or a slime. I guess oozes. Shoot, I'm getting Dragon Quest and D&D mixed up. What are they called in D&D? The slimes. Are they slimes or oozes? Either way, I never hear them complaining, you know? They seem pretty content. Are you talking about Bellicor? Or Malile? Because Malile isn't, he's not canon. Games Workshop doesn't have the rights to him. And Bellicor isn't a Chaos God. He was just the first Chaos Undivided champion. So, I said Bellicor because like Chaos God, Bellicor. No, he's just the champion. So that's my bad. I don't know, man. They seem pretty content to me, just, you know, sliding around, eating stuff. First Demon Prince, there we go. Of Chaos Undivided. I knew what I was saying. Like I corrected myself most of the way. Pretty cool character. And he exists in both fantasy and 40k. Right? Or is that Malile? I get some of their lore mixed up. Pretty sure it's Bellicor that appears in both. Scarbrand appears in both. Where am I going? Oh, it's a side quest. Francis. Was he the biker? been a long time since I played that as well. If those weren't yellow, I'm not going to keep them. The key came up with the paper. I have to grab it separately. It's not like the sewer level from Cry of Fear, so. Yeah, that was the one I always played as, was Francis. He reminded me of the biker from Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. Also, here's the guns that I couldn't find. That's 2 of them anyway. Is the last one in here? So I'm missing a weapon here. I pulled it up on my phone, and I meant to listen to it when I was doing dishes yesterday after my stream, and I never started it. I think I was talking to the cats or something, so, you know, priorities. But it should be in my history on my phone, so I'll just pull it up and listen to it when I do dishes after this stream. Contraband? Psh. Who's gonna stop me? I'm all by myself. I mean, the robots can try, but I've been gunning them down with extreme prejudice. Alright, let's look for this last weapon. No, I mean, I like all video game music. And I want to revisit that anyway, because I don't remember the soundtrack very well. And I feel like that's disrespectful to the game. Because I try to, after I finish a game, I do like going back and listening to the soundtrack. Because when you're playing actively, it's hard to pick up on all the music. And there was actually Tower of Time. There's like a medication commercial that has a very similar soundtrack to Tower of Time. Well, I don't know where to go. I feel like I explored all the buildings. I have too much weight anyway. I need to burn through some of it. How did I get hit from behind? What? What? What is that? Is that a body? Let's go check that out, I guess. Yeah, 3 birds with a few hundred bullets. That is efficient. Ah. Oh no. I must be good at this. I've been playing a platformer for the past few days that I'm really good at. No. I can do this. I don't know how else I'm supposed to get up there because I don't have sprint available because I have all this crap in my inventory. Is it even worth going up here? Is there... Oh, there is a weapon up there. Okay, I see it. Alright, maybe there's a better way than this. I'm pretty sure this is how we get up there, but we'll... Alright, fine. And then I didn't even jump after all that work. That's still... Okay, so you can't even sprint over there, it looks like. Psh. Well, the problem is the rocket launchers that I'm trying to get to by jumping. I might have grenades. I don't know if they actually knock you back, though. Aha! I did it. Suck it, game. Just so I can drop it back on the ground because I don't want it. I just want to clear out the map. I don't think I went over here, did I? Or did I? No, you can't jump up from the table to the awning. That's too far of a jump. You can't climb up anything. It's a darn shame. I think the game would benefit greatly from being able to, like... I should be able to, like, climb up right here. Because when you're fighting robots, your greatest ally is your mobility. And you don't have a lot of it in this game. I know. I'm a pro gamer. You don't have to tell me. It's the burden I have to live with. Crash jumping just makes no sense. You don't get more air because you crouch first. It's like goofy mechanic. I mean, I appreciate it in games. Also, the super jumps from Halo 2? Maybe Halo 3 had it too? I don't remember Halo 3 that well. I know Halo 2 had the super jumps. It's like, the one on Zanzibar? That tiny map was like a floating island. I don't remember the name of it. You know what, Sith? From here on out, whenever a game wants me to crouch jump, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm just gonna turn off the game, turn off the stream or the Let's Play, whatever it is. I'm just gonna call it quits. What is the point of the fence right here? What are you keeping out? Like, what? It's built through the... I mean, it looks like a mound of debris, kind of, but there's definitely like an existing hill here beforehand, like this side. Make fun of me? I'm doing it to spite you. It's not... You can't make fun of me, I'm making fun of you. Can't turn this around on me. Oh, yeah, lighthouse. Is that one I've been to already? Nope, that's a completely different one. Oh, it's awful. Yeah, very small dogs. I don't know, I feel like my in-laws have a very small dog, and that thing can scale a fence like nothing else. Actually, I think fences are just bad at keeping small dogs in. They're good at big dogs, but small dogs... Not so much. I always find a way under or around or over. You handle crouch jump. I handle crouch jumping. It was just like what certain windows and stuff you couldn't get in because you had to like crouch jump in the window, but if you get too close to the ledge, it stops you from doing it. It's goofy. Huh, goofy stuff. I don't know what's in that building. Oh, we'll check it out a little bit. Yeah, break. Sue the company for breaking immersion because I broke the disc. And breaking the disc broke the immersion. So this whole world was a lie? It was nothing. It was just data on this disc? I'm suing for emotional trauma. It's a building compound. Compound building. Oh, it's a prison. All the lights are inwards. It's like the Velociraptor exhibit in Jurassic Park. Oh, just ran out of it. Weight. Alright, we'll put one of these down. Probably don't want it in the truck. I feel like it's going to bug out if I try to use it, but we'll see. Yeah, crouch jumping. That's what turned video games into what they are today. That was... That's a mechanic to put gaming on the map. Crouch jumping. Not player agency, not accessibility. So I'm gonna drop those. I don't need that. Really don't need that either. I could put that on the ground instead of It's not really use grenades. They come in handy for a couple quests, but I don't need them. Whoops. Ha! He could work for BuzzFeed. That could be his article, then his next article can be an article directly contradicting that article. So the last thing you want in journalism is, you know, consistency. Well, I use the term journalism very loosely when referring to BuzzFeed. I don't know if I want to go in there. Oh, safe. Look at this. Bunch of safes in here. Yeah. And then the next one, 7 reasons crouch jumping ruined video games. Alright, so... what's going on in here? I mean, this isn't ominous at all. I really like the atmosphere of this area. Especially at nighttime. I don't know... don't know what's going on, though. A little spooked. A jet crash? Is it a missile silo? I feel like it's a little too obvious to be a missile silo, right? Upside down tank? Huh. That's no prison. Good observation, man. I don't know what this place is. I'm afraid to get into that big silo. It must be for... I bet you it's for a quest. Nothing's probably going to happen yet. But later on, I'm sure something's going to... We'll have to come back here for something. I hear something stomping around. I just don't know if it's outside the wall or if it's like underneath me. Hard to say. Demolition Derby? Okay, yeah, I can see that. Honestly, I don't really have that much against crouch jumping. I remember what I said against it previously. I have nothing against really any game mechanics other than artificial difficulty. Like just making something longer just because you can. There's better ways to balance games than just making things longer. Those birds flying around at nighttime. These are some pretty hefty supplies. What the heck do I fight here? Yeah, this has to be a boss fight for, like, the story. One of the main quests or something. I guarantee, like, one big robot comes out of this, and then a bunch of little robots come out of these little silos. We just have a big old brawl in here. I'm sure the door's shut, too, so I can't get out. Yeah, I'm not actually really picky when it comes to game mechanics. Unless, you know, I'm not doing well at the time. Obviously, I'm gonna be like, this is stupid. But, That's really hard for me to not enjoy a game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've played some trash in my day, and I still got a kick out of it. So if I say a game isn't fun, I think. Wait, can I not get out of here? I'm pretty sure all the doors were shut, right? Am I going crazy? No, that one's open. All right, there's the way out. Like Assassin's Creed? Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the game. Like, I think a game like Cry of Fear, which I think was the game I was critiquing, it's silly because it's an atmospheric game, right? And you're going through this horror experience, and then you're sitting here doing this. It just, I don't know, it takes you out of like the moment. Like you're not scared anymore. You're sitting here crouch jumping instead. Like crouch jumping is fine for Half-Life. If it's the aesthetic of the game, but with like Cry of Fear. Yeah, I remember my point now. I remember what I was saying. So I remember what context I had brought it up in. So I'm assuming all these buildings are underneath the ground, right? Because probably go into the silo at some point. Which argument, Sith? I mean, I don't care that much. I brought it up probably just because I wasn't doing good at the crouch jumping at the time. But yeah, let's see another way to get below the ground here. So I'm assuming... Oh, hello there. I mean, either way, it's a minor critique. I mean, no game's gonna get everything perfect. I mean, crouch jumping is a part of that engine, so it's probably gonna find its way into the game at some point. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're good for cosmetics and multiplayer games. Single-player games, you should be able to unlock them. There's no reason for them to be hidden behind a paywall, like Assassin's Creed has been doing. That's goofy. That's why I like my indie games. They've got it figured out. I mean, it's another, so, like another thing, so like if you look at Mordhau, right, or even Chivalry, you have all these like ridiculous like spinning mechanics and crap, which really takes you out of the feel. Like most people get into Mordhau initially, right, because it's like, oh, I want to play a knight game, I want to get on the front lines and fight somebody like a knight would. And you have this guy coming at you, naked except for a hammer, and he's spinning like doing these 270s, like 360 spins and you know, swinging every which way, and then he one-shots you in the head. Like, it takes you out of the game. Mordhau has tried to address it, and they have made it harder to do stuff like that, but it's still a thing. Like, you just see this like naked guy with a maul just sprinting full speed towards you. Frickin' looks like he's casting a spell. And he just one-taps you in the head because you can't tell what he's doing because he's spinning around like a glitch in Fallout 3 or something. Did I knock out the other 2 quests in this area? No, I had 1 quest. Did I do that? Where's it at? The bridge. Oh, it's up here. Did I? No, I'm about to wrap up the stream anyway. I'm at that 2-hour mark that I like to hit. But I'm also reading the chat. I'm not entirely sure if we're having the same conversation or if you're all having a different conversation. So I was reading to figure out so I didn't say something stupid. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't... I mean, that's entirely up to the developer. I mean, as far as microtransactions go. Like... So Rainbow Six Siege is a good example of microtransactions and, like, the skins getting super immersion breaking. Like, they have, like, that Mozzie skin where he's covered in, like, cheese. And, like, it's just... It depends on the game. So, like, Siege, it's important to know which operators you're playing against, and if their skins get too absurd, you can't identify who it is you're fighting, right? Because it's based on callouts, it's an intel-based shooter. You gotta know what you're up against. And if you see the skin, but you can't scan them, you don't know who it is. Like, you don't know who you're fighting. Again, it does depend on the game. If the game is meant to be immersive, they should have microtransactions like Mordhau. Mordhau doesn't have any like immersion breaking equipment. They have one helmet that has horns on it that doesn't really fit, but it still kind of fits. Like it fits the aesthetic of the game, and it doesn't break anything. It doesn't add. It just shows the person spent a lot of gold to get the helmet. It definitely depends on the game and like what the game is trying to accomplish. If it's a like again, if it's meant to be immersive, sure, but like something like Call of Duty, that's not an immersive game, so they can have whatever skins they want. At least that's my take on it. It's a game by game basis. Like Siege, that's one of the reasons I stopped playing Siege, because I couldn't recognize half the operators when I was making callouts immediately. I mean, after a few games and I saw the skin a couple times, I would get it. But yeah, not being able to make a call out because I don't know who the operator is, I'm like, okay, well, this made it harder for no reason. And Mordhau, like if I was playing Mordhau and this dude came at me in like a a Master Chief outfit, I'd be like, well, this is pretty lame, because Mordhau it fits a certain niche. It's meant for a niche audience. It has a certain aesthetic that it's trying to accomplish. And if you had all these like sci-fi stuff in it, but outside of mods, because there are mods for it, but the primary servers. That's another way they could handle it too. Mordhau has different servers, and you can get your own server and mod it and put whatever you want in it. So you can have like the typical like knight versus knight, or you can have Star Wars mod. So the player can pick what they want to play. But yeah, it's hard. Like, there aren't any good blanket statements for games outside of. I mean, there's a couple, but like something like, you know, immersion breaking, cosmetics, and stuff. It's hard to offer a blanket statement because games are so diverse already. Each one's going to bring a different argument to the table. I do think that it is fair that a single player game shouldn't have paid microtransactions across the board. Because that's silly. You buy a single player game just so you can play, unlock stuff. You shouldn't have. That's so dumb. Imagine you're playing Grand Theft Auto 3, right? And there was that cheat code where you could change your appearance to any random like NPC in the game. You could go from being like the main character to a pimp to a cop or whatever. Imagine you had to pay like 99 cents every time you put in that cheat. And since it's random, each time you put it in, it charges you 99 cents, and you still don't have the skin that you want. You have to keep putting it in until you get the skin that you want, so you just keep racking up the bill. That's stupid. But people keep buying it, and that's why they keep doing it. So. Yeah, they don't belong. They're out of place. But they do it because what they can do is they can have the game come out with these microtransaction skins initially, right? And then after the game's been out for a while, they can, when the game should be dropping in price, they add those skins are now DLC, so it keeps the price at a more level. Like, it doesn't drop that much if people want to buy the whole package. So they buy like the Game of the Year edition, the Definitive edition, the Gold edition, whatever you want to call it. And the price is ramped back up because it comes with all these, you know, DLC that are, you know, microtransactions or whatever. So, and it's also a way to prey on completionists. You have people like OCD that are completionists. They want everything in the game, and that includes those microtransactions. So they're preying on those people. No one's seen my face. Not even Mrs. Bring It Dawn. She hasn't seen my face either. She hasn't paid me enough money to see my face. Well, Day 1 DLC, I'm split on that because it depends on what the DLC is. If it's just like an expansion to the game, I agree. But if it's like, so Atom RPG, they have a support the developers pack. Obviously, you don't want to buy that the day the game comes out, because you don't know if the developers are good, you don't know the quality of the game. But, and I don't think they even put it out till after the game was out for a while. But, I bought that. I bought the support the developers DLC for Atom RPG because those developers, I think, deserved it. Plus, the game is an extremely reasonable price. If that would have been a Day 1 DLC, I may not have bought it Day 1, because, again, you want to wait and see if the game is good or not, but it depends on the DLC. But yeah, if it's just like an expansion to the game, there's no reason for it to be a Day 1 DLC. That's stupid. Because you're releasing the game, it should be complete when you release it. I just miss when DLC and expansion packs were actually expansions. Like, you know, Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, you know, Morrowind, Blood Moon. You know, these actual expansions. Well, it's changed a lot because they used to actually have physical copies that they had to ship out, so it had to be worthwhile to produce and then ship out. Nowadays it's all digital, so they can just throw whatever crap they want. And call it DLC. Yeah, no, Ubisoft, yeah, they definitely make their games grindy nowadays. That's why I haven't bought the Assassin's Creeds. I think they look good. I'm intrigued by them. But I don't want to grind through that. If I want to do a Let's Play of that game, it would take forever. Any one of the, like, Odyssey, Valhalla, or, Origins. Like, my biggest grievance, I mean, you can just look at it from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, right? So Fallout 3 had all those DLC, and they were all pretty solid expansions. They all added plenty of content, new quests, new locations, new stories. You know, you have the Pit, you have Mothership Zeta, you have, what's the... Shoot, the one you go on the boat. I forgot what it's called. It's not Far Harbor, that's Fallout 4. Then you have Broken Steel, which adds to the game and allows you to keep playing after you beat the game. Then you have Fallout 4, 6 DLC. And only 3 of them are like actual expansion packs. The other 3 are all stupid crafting settlement bullcrap. Yeah, no, I hate the Fallout 4 DLC. After they said that the settlement building wasn't going to be a priority, and you didn't have to do it in the main quest. Well, guess what? If you get the expansion, the Far Harbor expansion, you have to do it in the main quest. And then half the DLC ended up being settlement crap. And then half the game was settlement crap if you wanted to do a completionist thing, because there was like how many settlements in the game? Like what, 8, 10, 12, 16? I don't know. I never beat the game. But I know there's a bunch of frickin' settlements for no reason. What they should have done, since they should have just had one big settlement. Maybe let the player pick where they want it at, just one big settlement, and that's it. There are some neat aspects to the settlement building, but they should have been like an automated option. Like I think like the trade and caravan stuff is pretty cool. But if I want to trade, if I wanted to do all that, I could play Civ. I could play Civ 5 or 6, you know? Like I don't have to play Fallout 4 for settlement building. Point Lookout, there it is, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. But yeah, I mean, just like one game away in the franchise. I know New Vegas came out in between, but even New Vegas's DLC were good quality expansions. And just nowadays it's just like, oh hey, here's some skins. Now, I will say, I think for CRPGs, I do like buying portrait packs. I like more portraits in my CRPGs. If they're quality. I mean, if they're crap portraits, obviously I don't want to buy them. But like, you know, Baldur's Gate. I'll buy a portrait pack for Baldur's Gate. I'll buy a portrait pack for Pillars of Eternity. Things like that. I am a sucker for a good portrait pack. Yeah, that era of Fallout games had really good expansions, as before DLC started becoming whatever the heck it is today. Not saying there aren't good DLC. I mean, look, Trudograd's going to be awesome. It's also a standalone expansion, so it's a little different. Underrail's Expedition DLC. That is a quality... That's like a full game. It's like 40 hours by itself. It's crazy. Like, that's a quality DLC. Plus, the game itself was only $15, and you get, like, what, 100 hours out of a playthrough? You can't beat that. I didn't like Dead Money my first playthrough. Second playthrough, I liked it a lot more. I think, what was my favorite DLC from that one? Probably Big Mountain. I think Big Mountain was my favorite. Old World Blues. So I don't mind the no gear thing. I don't mind being forced to reset. Like when you went to Honest Hearts, you had to, leave some gear behind because you can only take so much weight with you. I like it when they force you to like choose at least. Or, you know, forced restart, like Mothership Zeta. Same thing. Because it forces you to experiment with all the stuff that, like, the DLC offers. It's like Mothership Zeta, you lose all your gear, you have to use the alien weaponry. And it's a new challenge. Now, if you're importing a character, so like, say you're going from Baldur's Gate 1 to 2, I would like to keep my gear and I'd like to keep my, you know, stats, of course. Because that's the whole point of importing a character. But, yeah. Yeah, that's what I liked about that too. I like interconnectivity. I'm a sucker for interconnectivity, continuity. And a weird knife. But yeah, I used to get just quality content. People like to point out the horse armor from Oblivion as being the downfall of DLC. I think that's an apt argument because ever since then it has been pretty downhill. Lonesome Road was okay. I think I had like I only played through it once. I think I had like a migraine or something when I did it, so my experience was pretty soured. No, Old World Blues I think was my favorite one. Because I think that really encapsulated like the Fallout feel. So I feel like Fallout's always been like this dark, post-apocalyptic game, but it has like these zany, quirky sci-fi aesthetics and, you know, stuff to it. It's just, I don't know. I think that's the peak of, I think, go in this building, like Fallout feel. Because y'all know me, almost any game that I can, I'm going to go melee. Fallout is one of the few franchises where I like to go energy weapons. I can smell these fireworks. Jeez Louise. But yeah, I think energy weapons are like the weapon type that makes Fallout, or stands out in Fallout. My favorite weapon type, and then melee weapons, in that order. All right, but I'm gonna call the stream here because I have homework I gotta do. Still, I was taking a break from it for the stream, and how much more do we have to do? Well, I guess we're about halfway done with the marshlands. Couple of main quests, just a couple areas to explore over here, I guess this, and then just north, right? Yeah, this little town, and then everything north of this this road. Yeah, you didn't have to join any of them. Well, you side with, what's his face? The, smiley robot. I don't remember his name. Was it House of Cards? Well, the house always wins? Is that... No, that was House's, quest line. What was a quest line where you didn't join anybody? Yes, man. There we go. Gosh, my memory's failing me. I haven't really talked about Fallout in so long. Haven't had to recall any of it. All right, but I'm going to call a stream here. I'll see you guys next week. Up there. That might be the lighthouse. Yeah, wildcard. I think that's it too. Well, that's a good choice. I'm going to eventually do a Let's Play of all the Fallouts. Except for 76. But anyway, yeah, take care, everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed talking to me and each other. And I'll see you guys in a week, next Saturday. So, stay safe, stay classy. I'll see you guys on the flip side.